Cardi B had us waiting 7 years for this album. Am I the Drama is her sophomore attempt at greatness. This is her attempt to show us that she belongs top tier with the other female MCs that are out right now. I'll be honest with you, when I heard that she was dropping this album, I already knew it wasn't going to live up to the debut. But does Am I the Drama deliver what we've always known, which is Cardi B being one of the best rappers in the game? Or did we just wait 7 years for underachievement?
The STEM Society.
What's going on, people? My name is Cole Jackson. This is the STEM Society, and this is the weekly album check-in. This is where I give you guys my weekly reviews on albums I've listened to. This is going to be a doozy this week. Cardi B has been on hiatus for like 7 years. We haven't heard not really a whole album, a full project of her in a long time. Now, she did a lot of things between her first album and now. She got into her business bag. She had kids. She has a pending divorce. She has another kid coming. She's got a lot of shit happening. But fans have been waiting in excitement for this sophomore album. I've been waiting for it. I'm a fan of Invasion of Privacy. I think it was a great album of that year. I wouldn't say it was the best rap album of that year, but it was a top album. So when she announced the date for this, I think everybody kind of held their breath and was like, wait, you really going to drop this? And that was the cool thing. So all of us have been in waiting. We have built up a lot of excitement. We are ready to see if this could be a really legit follow-up to Invasion of Privacy. So did she make the mark? Cardi B drops Am I the Drama? 23 songs. It's over an hour long. This album has very strong production. That was one of the biggest parts of this album that I was surprised by, because I was thinking we was going to get some raggedy shit, but this has very strong production. You have producers like Dizzy Banko, Triangle Park, London on the Track, and Shay Jacobs. Those were the standout producers on here, and those were the producers that made this album work the most for me. I wanted to make sure I said their names because they need to be credited for being the glue to this album to make it work. It was sharp, it was crisp. There were a lot of songs on here that just made me nod my head. I really enjoyed listening to an album and actually being able to enjoy it. The production was the biggest part of that. Lyrically, I'll put it to you this way. Cardi was strong on the songs that she poured her heart out on. Like when she was getting personal with a lot of things, especially with the JT and Be a Diss songs, that's when I was feeling her. Those were the moments on the album when I was like, oh, she's for real. I think that she got in her bag when it came to dissing, and I think she had been waiting to do this, had this moment for a very long time. I don't know if she wrote these or not, because I know that's the controversy online. That's what everybody's talking about. Joe Budden said something about writing.
Hard.
Whoever is writing these lines,
Party wrote a lot of it. I'm not sure about. Let me get the credits is right here. I'm gonna look that hard.
he is smoking this shit.
He's on here. Yeah, Torre.
Yeah,
I think
he's
wrote some
great.
as well. Shout to Torre.
What is this, like some taboo shit? Like, we not supposed to ask who wrote what when we know somebody's writing the shit? Like, what is the problem here?
What pushes her buttons.
I don't give a fuck about that lady's buttons. Listen, y'all, I almost wrote something mean yesterday,
then don't
but I
act
deleted
shocked
it.
when she thinks
But I
that
deleted
you're
it
purposely
because
pushing her
I'm in a
buttons.
good mood and we feeling nice and it's a celebratory mood. But who give a fuck about that lady feelings?
We know the major rappers have a lot of writers. If you look at the credits on the album, she has a ton of writers on here. But she sounded like, I needed to get this shit off my chest. Y'all niggas gonna feel me on this, and I respect it. My favorite songs on here were really the ones that she opened up about, the problems she was having with Offset, the diss tracks. Those were the songs that were the best ones out of all of them. And when really, Cardi got in her bag a lot of times too. Some of the best songs on here was the songs that she was versatile on. Every Time. You can say whatever you want to. Every Time is a Jeezy song. If she decides to do a remix of Every Time, she needs to have Jeezy on here. Cardi's flow, her ad-libs, even the production gave me old school TM 103 vibes. Like if you listen to it, you'll be like, oh, that's a Jeezy track. She got inspired by Jeezy. I like that. She went there. She had another song on here where she sounded like it was Amigos type production, and it was I I can't think of the song right now, but it sounded like Offset or Migos or something like that. She got it. She got in her bag. I have to give her credit for that. Another song that was one of our favorite songs is Shower Tears. This song was very personal. Out of all the tracks, this is where Cardi gets very vulnerable, and she at her best with that. Summer Walker tied this whole song together, and the production was very strong. Nothing on that song was amiss. But the song that was the best song on this album, even though we got lied to, we got played, it's still the best song on this album. Principle. Principle, to me, by far, her best song in a long time. I love the beat. The beat is amazing. Lyrically, nobody was touching Cardi on this song. The sample that they used, Pleasure Principle, that could have went two ways. It could have been really bad or it could have been really good. And it ended up being very, very good. That's the best song on the album. I know a lot of people might go for the Kehlani song, Safe, or something else that's real petty. Nah, bro. Everything worked. It's like the chemistry was perfect on Principle. That is by far the best song on this 23-track album. By far. I don't think Cardi's made anything that good in a very long time. But as much as I like those highs on the album, this album had some real problems that cannot be ignored. So let me go ahead and get the elephant out of the room right now, because if you've watched a lot of my reviews, you know what I'm about to say. This album is too fucking long. There's 23 songs on here. I only really fuck with 10 songs on here. 10. There were only 10 songs that I really rock with on here. Whoever's in Cardi's camp that said put 23 songs out, y'all should be fired. They should fire y'all. No one should be putting out 23 song albums, especially when you have a lot of filler. When I said that Cardi leaned into a lot of versatility on this album, she did. There's a bad side of that too. She leaned into some pop rap shit it felt like she was trying to catch a hit, and most of them didn't work. She started this album out with 3 great songs, 3 very aggressive songs, 3 songs that she was really rapping on. And then I had listened to Pick It Up, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Felt completely out of place. It felt like she was reaching to try to catch a hit. It just felt like something that you just didn't want to listen to. I don't want to hear that from Cardi. You've done your pop rap. I don't even know she's done her pop rap shit before, but I'm not fucking with Cardi doing pop rap. I'm just not. If you come out here and you talk about you the bodega baddie, if you the gutter bitch, if you the gutter all of this shit, why are you doing these pop rap songs on this album? What are you trying to catch? You've made the money. You've already made the money. Who are you trying to impress now? Put out what you feel. Stop trying to catch one. The album has a lot of filler on here. Tracks like Better Than You, Check Please, they sounded like placeholders to me. They just sounded like complete and total placeholders that were taking up space. They wanted to fill in the gaps between getting to like the better songs. But those 2 songs in particular felt so generic and so out of place and out of whack. I hated those songs. It's like she just wanted to come up with some shit just to say, yeah, let's put it up in here. Let me get some crazy ad-libs. No, we don't need 20 plus songs on an album that's not going anywhere. And y'all keep doing this. I don't know who's in y'all's camps okaying this shit, but you don't need 20 songs to make a great album. It's just, you don't have to do it. One of my biggest issues with this album, and I don't understand who A&R'd this and who made these choices. The features were such a big issue. How do you fumble a Tyler feature? One of the biggest Afrobeats, young up-and-coming stars in the world. You fumbled her fucking feature. How do you do that? How do you do that? That song felt like it was made for Tyler because the beat, the production on here is horrible. Didn't sound like something that Cardi would rhyme off of, and you fucked that up bad. It felt like it was a Tyler song featuring Cardi B. You should never have something like that on your album. Just being real with y'all. That's just not how you do it. The Cash Cobain feature, horrible, very misplaced. He was used incorrectly. Why do you have a Cash Cobain song on here and he's not the producer of the song? Cash Cobain has great songs out. He's done the Sexy Drill thing for a very long time. He should be the person producing the song. Instead, you have him at the very end, and it just felt like you wanted to just put a name on the list of features to get people to buy the album. See, that's what we're not gonna. People aren't talking about this, but a lot of when they announced those features on there, they look like, after listening to the album, it looks like y'all was reaching for a cash grab. It looks like y'all was trying to bring people in. Y'all did every dirty trick in the book to be able to get this album to sell. And y'all funky for that. And I don't really 100% blame Cardi for that. I think the label has a lot to do with it. Whoever her people on her team have a lot to do with it. Y'all pulled a lot of parlor tricks out of your asses to make us go buy this album so you could say platinum on the first day, which is another thing. Up and WAP shouldn't have been on this album. Why would you put, I know why you put Up and WAP on here. I understand. It shouldn't have been on here. Completely fucks up the vibe and tone of the album. Those, and I know they were the last two songs on here. For your sophomore album, we shouldn't have to listen to those songs. We should be listening to new shit. Those songs have been out for a while, and we shouldn't have to listen to them at the very end of your sophomore album. It just shouldn't, they shouldn't have been there. Finally, and I hate to say this because I know she can rap, she took a lot of songs off on here. There were a lot of times Cardi kind of just fell back and just used different tactics to just kind of get through the song. One song she did the alphabet A B C D E F G. I know these hoes can't fuck with me. That's a real lyric on here. There's another song where she used a number countdown. There were times where she would fall back on just talking about flexing, like, I got cars, I got money, I'm beautiful, I'm the baddest bitch out here. Like, you revert back to surface level raps, and it stuck out because you have a lot of great rapping on here. Like, you're very lyrical on a lot of songs, but then when you want to sit back and kind of not do your best, you will revert back to, I'm a bad bitch. I look better than half these hoes. I know these women ain't fucking with me. Y'all can't dress, all this other shit. You didn't have to do that. You had a lot of solid tracks on here. And for you to just put that kind of rapping on those filler songs, it's ridiculous, bro. You're better than this. You weren't pushing yourself lyrically on every song, and you could tell it stuck out like a sore thumb. That goes along with what I said earlier. This album is just too long. When you put 23 songs on here, I expect you to be rapping at least full capacity on at least 50% of those songs on here. 50%. And even with those issues, the bigger question is, will you actually want to play this album again? This album has great moments, but I don't want to sit through 23 songs to find the great moments again. The replay value is here. I find replay value in picking the good songs out and putting them on a playlist. You had 10 songs on it, 23 songs that really made my day. I honestly feel like if you would have cut this album down to 15, maybe even 13 tracks, you out of here. This album would have been up there with Invasion of Privacy, I guarantee you, because she really got in her bag. But it just feels like it's frustrating because the highs are very, very strong, but she wasted a lot of her time on here with the filler tracks and those bad features. Like, Cardi's too good to be making some of the choices she made on this album. She's too good to be falling back and kind of just letting shit slide on a lot of the songs that she did. And it just didn't make for a good replay. I listened to this album 4 times and I couldn't get through it was some of those listens I couldn't get through and I had to skip through, but I wanted to make sure I gave you a well-informed, thoughtful review when I talked about this. But you crazy if you think I'm gonna sit up here and listen to 23 songs on this album again. Like, that's just not happening. It's not a complete body of work. It doesn't really go anywhere that you wanted to go. The themes here are stuck in moments. Like, she has a Offset trilogy on here. She's got she's got 2 diss tracks that go back to back in a group, like a group of 3. But as far as like me listening to this album as a whole again, you can forget it. Not gonna do it. It's just too much bad on here for me to do that. So with all that said, Here's my final take. I'm grading this on a curve because Cardi can really rap. She proved it in this album. She proved that she still got the chops to do this. But I got to give this a 6 out of 10. And that means this was a cool listen. Overall, the production was the glue of this album. That was what held it strong. When Cardi's rapping lines up with the right beats, that's when we get the really great highs on this album. And it's few and far between when that happens. But this album is way too long. It's weak pop rap out records on here that just don't make a lot of sense. She goes into a lazy part of herself on the filler songs when she does the flex rapping. She fumbled a ton of features. The Lizzo feature was bad. The Cash Cobain feature was bad. The Tyler feature was bad. Those features didn't need to be on this album. You did it for a cash grab and not for the good of the album. Cardi didn't overachieve, but she didn't necessarily underachieve either. She landed right where I think a person who had a 7-year break would end up. A lot of safe records on here. The songs were a bit inconsistent. And really, this was made for her hardcore fans. This wasn't made for me who love hip hop. I know what Cardi can do when it comes to her rapping. And maybe I expected too much and my expectations were too big for this album. But casual fans were probably like this too. But for people like me who live this hip hop shit and who really fuck with it, this album just wasn't what it needed to be for me to be impressed and give her something over than what I gave her. I think she had a lot of big name features on here to grab sales. I think she did the rollout the way she was supposed to also grab sales. I think the way that they played these industry games by putting Up and WAP on here really kind of got people excited for something that is not really upper echelon hip hop albums. 2025 was a hard year because we've had so much great music come out. And like I said before, I'm not saying this is bottom of the barrel, but I just expected a lot more out of Cardi B. So what about you? Did this album hit for you? Was this one of your favorite projects of 2025, or is it just a mid project with an overblown celebrity rapper? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for joining me for another episode. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys are supporting me by just giving me comments and likes. And whatever you do, make sure you guys join me on Sunday when I give you all the updates of what's going on in hip hop. Take care of yourself. I love you. Peace out.
Like, he say the most ridiculous shit, but it sounds so cold when he just rapping.